Hi, everybody. Welcome to Friday's Focus on Finances. My name is Jamie Fleming, and we're going to talk to you today about understanding your financials as a small business owner. We had a little technical difficulty during the live broadcast, so I'm re-recording so you don't miss any of the information. Small business owners spend an incredible amount of time growing and running their businesses. To be successful as a business owner, however, it's critical that you really understand your business finances. When I start working with business owners, the first things I ask for are their profit and loss statement, their balance sheet, and their business tax returns from the previous year. These documents can show me exactly where my business owner clients' finances stand up and help us chart courses for the future. I've seen some situation where this lack of understanding truly impedes a business owner's ability to grow and prosper. So even if you have a good CPA, and as a business owner you should, it's imperative that you know and understand your finances better than anyone else. Understanding your P&L. A profit and loss statement, more commonly known as a P&L or an income statement, is a financial statement that summarizes a business's revenues and expenses. It shows how much income you've generated and where the money has been spent over a period of time, usually a quarter or a year, and measures profitability over that time. Comparing your P&L statements year over year or quarter over quarter will show you how your revenue and expenses have changed over time. If your expenses have increased but your revenues have not, your profit margin has shrunk. If the opposite is true, your profit margin has grown. As your business grows, you may have some periods where you record losses instead of profits. P&Ls can show you if and when increases in operating costs or investments in new technology pay off, and when you're financially healthy enough to assume greater liabilities or even pay yourself more money now than you are before, including funding your retirement plans. Your P&L statement is the equivalent to your spending plan on the personal side. If your personal spending plan is in the negative, meaning you're spending more than you're paying yourself in income, then you're likely to be at risk of increased debt and may show a deeper issue of overspending. Understanding your balance sheet. A balance sheet reports a company's assets, what it owns, its liabilities, what it owes, and shareholder equity, or how much the owners have invested. For a company to pay everything it owns, it must either borrow money or receive more investment from owners. Assets must equal liabilities plus shareholders' equity. It is important to understand how the balance sheet is impacted by business decisions you make. The balance sheet is also useful in computing your debt to equity ratio, which you compute by dividing a company's total liabilities by its shareholder equity. The debt to equity ratio evaluates a company's financial leverage, how much the operations are financed through debt versus cash and assets. It also helps show whether shareholder equity would cover all outstanding debts if the company were to close down. Unlike a P&L, a balance sheet represents a specific point in time. It is most helpful when compared to other periods of time and reviewed in conjunction with the company's P&L statement. On the personal side, your balance sheet is equivalent to your net worth statement. Both of these tools are useful in determining the financial health of someone's business and their personal financial well-being. How to make projections for your future as a business owner. Understanding your P&L and balance sheet is the first step to understanding your cash flow. Your P&L will show how much revenue your business has collected. It will also reveal your expenses, both those that are fixed and those that vary from month to month. When you compare a current P&L to an older one, it will show you whether your performance is actually improving. Your balance sheet will reveal short-term and long-term obligations. These could include ongoing debt obligations, retirement plan contributions you'll need to make, assets you plan to purchase, and so on. You can use these statements together to make short-term projections, like how much income you're expecting over the course of the year and what your estimated profit will be for the year. You can even put together projections for the next 12 months and beyond. This can be difficult for business owners to visualize initially, but it's easy once you understand your numbers. If you have multiple revenue streams, it can provide insight into which business lines are more profitable and where you may want to focus your money and attention going forward. When I work with business owner clients, I often ask them to show me their year-to-date P&L and balance sheet. Then we review these records from the same period in the previous year. We go through these statements line by line if necessary to see which numbers are up and which are down. If expenses have increased, what has driven that change? If income is higher, how well does the increase align with projections? Finally, we use these statements to set reasonable, well-informed goals for the coming months. We might focus on profit for the year and whether we should increase distributions paid back to the owner. We can also talk about how to leverage their equity or assets or add a liability to fund a planned expansion. If income is increasing, we try to figure out if that growth is sustainable or if it was for a short-term situation. You don't have to be a CPA to understand your financials as a small business owner. The more time you spend reviewing your P&L and balance sheet, the more insight you can draw from them. That gives you the power to set concrete, achievable goals for the business's future and to understand how your personal finances might look as a result. I've used the example of our new business owner client who was hit with a pretty hefty tax bill because he had a terrific year in 2020. However, without tax and financial planning, he wasn't prepared. He could pay it. That wasn't the issue. After we began working together, I showed him how making a few adjustments would benefit him over the next several years. By simply contributing to his retirement plan as the employer and doing this over a 26-year period, we create over $1 million in business deductions while saving him over $250,000 in taxes on the business side. In doing this at the same time, we're accumulating over $2.1 million in personal wealth for this client. This is only assuming a 5% growth rate because he's a more conservative investor at this point. If he was a more moderate investor, getting on average 8%, his personal wealth would grow to over $3.4 million. He will be able to achieve this because while working with us doing regular tax and financial planning for his business and personal side, we can put in place systems that allows him to work around healthy months of high revenue, as well as lean months with little to no revenue. As a business owner, reviewing your financials is imperative to long-term business and personal financial success. Today's was short and sweet. That's it for today's Friday's Focus on Finances. Don't forget to schedule your complimentary consultation to see how some of these strategies might work for you on the personal side and the business side. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to get further notifications on Friday's Focus on Finances. See you next week, everyone. Have a great weekend.